It's been a boon for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. He's filled in for Kruger. Kruger trying to get back to 100%, and he's done a remarkable job back there. As we are underway, of course, Campbell in all orange, and Wake Forest in all white.
It's such an interesting shade of orange, Ty. It's a very like red orange. You don't see it often. Usually in sports you see like the burnt orange, or you see the like pure orange that maybe like a Syracuse or Clemson wears. You don't see this shade of orange very often.
What kind of shade would you say this is?
Peak analysis here for color analysis. I would say it's a red orange. I know there are some like Crayola experts out there that could probably do better than me, but that's the best I got.
Well, they're definitely all orange, and they were supposed to have a match with the CAA opponent, with UNCW, with bad weather on Saturday. That was postponed. So they had a little bit of a rest. Wake Forest, of course, in action on Friday night against Lipscomb. We'll have one more tune-up before they head to Chapel Hill for their ACC opener. White overlapping Thomas. Thomas, good ball. Just stepping on it was at Campbell's back line. And it was right in the wheelhouse of Tate Lawrence, who has also been having a fantastic year. As White gets the trash, sends it right back. Here's a shot by Flax that just goes left of the frame. Last touch, though, by Campbell.
Yeah, we'll get to see the Cooper Flax set-piece delivery. He's been working on that a lot, both last year and this year.
So Flax will take the corner. Already Wake Forest with 2 shots. Hoping to lead off with a goal early in this one. And Perez, nice step over. Oh, that almost snuck through. And brilliant work, though, by Campbell blocking that spot. It was almost a blind spot, Kyle.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was blocked off the line or if it hit the post. Dappa, I think, got in the way of it with the goalkeeper just to his left. That was exceptional because it did look like that was headed for the bottom corner. We know very well how Jose Perez can hit him from outside the penalty area, and there's a reason he's placed at the top of the penalties, the 18-yard box on those set pieces, because if it's cleared to him, he can strike from there.
He's a marksman, and that was probably the right spot to go, because the keeper, well, maybe we'll look at the replay again, but kind of the keeper was confused on where that was, and DePauw was there to back him up. Deeks once again moving to the attacking third, dispossessed by Bassett Umar, not Umar Bassett. Make fun of myself.
It's okay. Yeah, it's to the best of us.
I just read it from the phone book. Do they even have phone books anymore? Sirajan, as he is called for an offside position. Let's take a look at this. Dissect this.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes out to Perez. He's not marked. Beautiful step over, and then, yeah, blocked off the line, off of the knee of the Campbell midfielder. Perfectly placed.
It's heads-up defense. Coach Fonder said for his team to be successful tonight, they were going to have to really figure out that press and the tenacity of that press. And then work their moments, and when they have those moments, execute. Throw in for Wake Forest. There is Dustin Fonder, 11th season. Always a delight to talk to. He's a Hall of Famer at Roanoke, where he was one of the best D3 players in his time playing there. Here's a shot by Sarajan and straight into the gut of the keeper.
Yeah, what I thought was so fascinating about our chat with Coach Fonder was that, you know, he said, hey, we used to be a nationally renowned attacking program. You could tell he was very passionate about the team's attack and ability to strike. A lot of minor programs or mid-major programs that are not in power conferences, they are focused on shape and structure and discipline and things like that. Not to say that it's a bad thing at all, but a lot of them are focused more defensively. Hey, we defend first. Even a lot of top coaches will say we need to enjoy playing without the ball, right? He was like, no, we're a big attacking program, and that is what he is passionate about in their identity, and they need to get back to that in his mind to really be to fulfill his vision.
He was 4-time Big South Coach of the Year. He got High Point off and running, then left to go to Campbell. Of course, Campbell was in the Big South, then went to the CAA. That's a good idea by Tate Lawrence there to try to slip that one up. Thomas creeping up, not surprised by that. And Umar shifts it over to Sullivan. The feed in the box, just a little too much, and snatching it out of the air is Leviton. Leviton has been also playing his part for Campbell, second in the CAA in goals against average. Last year was 6-1 with a .86 goals against average. So they've got a steady presence for sure back there out of Colleyville, Texas at 6'2". Campbell's last official match was in Richmond against VCU. They went up 1-0, VCU answered back, and that ended in a 1-1 draw. Here's Wright. And Garza now thinking about going forward, plays as support right here at the touchline as Lavelle. Good ball movement. Garza and blast him. He's blocked. Garza setting that one up, and now Bassett Umar goes down.
We mentioned this in the intro, but you know, Bassett Umar, there's so many things to his game that make him a great player, but one of them is ball winning. And he just steps in front, gains body position, and manages to win the foul. He is a really high quality and versatile number 10. And such an asset to have because he can press and he can defend and he can snatch the ball away. And when you have a number 10 that can do that, not only can you win the ball high up the pitch in attacking areas, but you can also win them deep in your own area, and now you have a tailor-made counter because you've already got your progressive player on the ball. You don't have to get him the ball. So that takes a step out of creating a counterattack.
(4-1) is the shot tally in favor of Wake Forest right now. A well-played ball. The touchline for Roberts, and Roberts having to go up against it with Travis Smith Jr. to get his way out of it. As Lorenz comes in. Shoulder to shoulder with Matos. Scarza sifting it to the right side. A little slip and right back up. Escribano looking. And try to slip that one up for Sarajan. As Coach Muse, also in his 11th season here at Wake Forest. And the fantastic job, what a fantastic season they have started off with in 2025. The defense has been very, very disciplined, even with the new keeper.
Yeah, there's been a lot of changes for this team. Managed to keep it ticking over.
Bassett-Umar trying to scoop that one over the top, trying to find Sarajan. Nick Balser is our center referee, and Kur Singh and Ian Dakari will be our officials tonight. Big ball over the top. That's a very good big ball. You have to keep an eye on that. That's a threat. So now Wake Forest having to troubleshoot in the back line. Fortunately for them, it ends up in a goal kick.
Wake Forest lineup has been very fluid today, both in and out of possession.
We'll lay off, hoping for Flax, and Flax just not quite aware that creeping there was DePa, pardon me. The chemistry between Bassett-Umar and Flax has been very noticeable this season. Just another level. Last year was good. This year it's sensational.
And there's been a lot of chemistry building all over the field. It shows in that fluidity of the lineup. They've been playing with a lot of, the base formation is a 4-3-3. It can shift into a 4-2-3-1, but today it's shifted into this like unbalanced 4-4-2 almost. You've got Jeffrey White pressing high up the right side, almost as a second striker, while Tate Lawrence on the left side drops way back, almost as a fourth midfielder. An interesting tweak from Bobby Muse today.
His right dancing, had Roberts behind him.
You see Bassett-Umar too will push way up, like right now you see him in the press. He comes all the way up alongside Sarajan, and force that turnover too. Sometimes he drops way back to receive the ball. There's a lot of movement in this team right now.
Amani Thomas now creeping as usual.
Yeah, and in a formation like this, Amani Thomas has a lot of responsibility, because with Jeffrey White pushed so high up the field, he's got to defend acres of space and still get forward in the attack and make sure he can get back. There's a lot of responsibility for Amani Thomas.
Well, that results in another corner kick for Wake Forest. Let's see if Cooper Flax can come up with some magic and come up aces in this set piece. Got 6 targets in the boxes. Perez lurking at the top of the 18. This is clipped in. Nice bend and a backwards bit of a header by Lorenz. Hoping that would just shing off the head and then into the back net on the far stick. Deacons coming off back-to-back-to-back clean sheets. They've only allowed 1 goal this entire season. Manufacturing again, Escorbado. Oh, just stood still, brought that one back. Goes square with Flax, and then Flax drops it into the pocket to Perez. Scanning, here's a shot that didn't quite, well, actually had some good pace to it, just in the vicinity of Leviton. Now here come the Fighting Camels. Campbell taken away from the press. Then Roberts decides to move forward towards Sullivan. Long one over the top, looking for White. A shot driven low, Kyle. Again, had a little bit more surprise pace than I thought, but still right in the vicinity of the keeper.
Yep. Just needed a little more precision, but with good power.
Another corner for Wake Forest. Good ball driven. Right back out to Perez. As Perez will usher it to Escorbado. And a little 1-2. White gets it on this near flank. Bassett Umar clipping, head down, and it gets by the keeper, the hammer, Sullivan. You knew he was going to be a weapon at some point in this season, 6'5". I asked him last year, when are you going to get involved and get into the mixer? Well, he got involved there and gives Wake Forest a 1-0 lead early in this one.
Yeah, a little bit of a tricky header. It sort of wrong-footed the goalkeeper. He got free right in front of the net and made Campbell pay. Beautiful delivery into the box from Bassett Umar with the left foot, a little bend, and he just puts it right at the feet of the goalkeeper, which is really difficult because the goalkeeper from point-blank range has a lot of goal to cover, and so even a shot right there requires a very quick reaction time, and he's just got to get down and it clips off his feet into the back of the net.
Actually, I thought he did a pretty good job. I mean, his reaction was there. Unfortunately for him, just to taunt him.
Yeah,
it hits off his hands and goes in.
It looks rough on video, but I would not call that a goalkeeping error. It's just the header is right there in front of him and requires split-second reaction time.
Well, when you're 6'5" and you can get up and hit it down with some pace, that is truly a hammer. And Wake Forest leading 1-0 off their 6th shot of the evening. They couldn't help but feel for the keeper, though.
Yeah.
And having the hands on it, and then just kind of hear the voice inside of his head saying, "You got to be kidding me!" And the back's been able to tuck in. Well done by Sullivan. He has been huge. And Kruger, that was his spot. Kruger trying to get back to 100%, and Sullivan stepped right in and said, "I'm going to take this opportunity and shine." And yes, he has. Sarajan looking for Flax. As Lawrence trying to poke it back to Flax. And we got a foul called on Lawrence. Maybe a late tackle. Lawrence doesn't think so. Mason Sullivan out of West Roxbury, Massachusetts. Did appear in 7 matches last season. As the Deeks up 1-0. Flax, nice settle. And played the smart ball right back to Travis Smith Jr. Here's Amani Thomas putting on the brakes. Oh, nice probing pass looking for Sirajan. A little tug from behind on Roberts, Jake Roberts that is. Now, Wake Forest, if they can have a 4th shutout in a row, it has so far been the fewest goals allowed through 4 games in the Muse era. In fact, right now it's the fewest goals allowed for the Deacons through 4 matches, and you got to go all the way back to 2008. I don't think that was on the bingo card for this year when you had Trace Alphen off to the pros, had a couple question marks getting in with the back line, and they have something to prove. They have done it so far. There's a good blast by Bassett Umar. Wake Forest corner kick again. I mean, the field tilt, Kyle.
Yeah, it's an onslaught right now for Wake Forest. They look very comfortable at the back, and they look dangerous up front. Campbell's got to do something to turn the tide here.
Is the hammer back in there? Yes, he is. Sullivan again, but surrounded, flicked back, and then volleyed out of here by the Campbell defense. Amani Thomas trying to get creative. Once again inside the attacking third off the tippy top of the head of Bassett Umar. Umar still right there. Into space, Flax, this is his area. Oh, it dipped. He was looking for top bins.
We talked about Jose Perez's ability to shoot from distance. Well, how about Cooper Flax too? He's one of their set piece strikers, and he can hit them like that.
Flax with 1 assist this season. Big season last season with 9 goals, but Flax is more like the assist type of player, so it's also surprising that he had 9 goals. I mean, he can still score, right, Kyle? But he's kind of the distributor. Pass first, then shoot. But he's not arguing. Here's Wright, tiptoeing, trying to get past Thomas. Thomas took exception to that. Fighting Camels, trying to fight their way back in this one. Down 1-0. Only 1 shot to Wake Forest's 8. Perez, that's brilliant work. That's just textbook center midfield right there. Perez sees the ball before he even touches it, looks to his left, looks to his right. And this could very well be a card. It is. Lawrence got taken out, and the card looks like it will go to Santos Rosa.
Yeah, Lawrence has body position. There is a genuine, there's a little genuine attempt to play the ball there, but there is some extracurricular, and I think the attacking movement also had something to do with that too. I'm not so sure that was a terribly dangerous challenge or anything like that, but with Wake Forest pushing forward in possession, referee said, hey, you're stopping a promising attack.
Escorbano will say, I'll take it, just off the target by Schmid.
Yeah, I think he looked at the goalkeeper and felt that the keeper was maybe offline, a little far to the left, and tried to ping one for the far right corner.
You can hear the applause for Wake Forest's bench. They applaud very good tackling. That's kind of like their new cry for some adrenaline rush. Yeah. Vlad, I mean, here's a starter coming in off the bench. Vlad Walent.
Yeah, the depth is huge for them this year.
Amani Thomas got in front of Martin and then kind of stopped and said, where'd the ball go?
I think he slipped, yeah.
That's right. Scanning. And plays it back to Martin. Little 1-2 with Fischel. Wake Forest cutting it out. Here's Walent up ahead with Bilal, and just a little too anxious there. So Walent goes in for Lorenz. And Bilal in for Jeffrey White. Bednar gladly accepting some work out of the back. His defense has made his job maybe boring at some point. But he'll take it. And Campbell the same way. If you look at what they did last season, what they've done this season for Leviton, it's the same thing. You check how many shots that they've actually allowed. It's pretty remarkable.
It is. It's all about, you know, obviously defending is a big part of it, but it's also about possessional control, right? It speaks to the fact that they don't give up a lot of possession. They don't give up a lot of good quality attacking movement. That's always, you know, when you're defending a lower volume, that's always going to help.
Vlad Walent with the right idea. And he'll gladly accept this race. Slide tackle that's knocked out of bounds.
Coaches love to see a player who loses the ball and then races back at full speed to win it back, right? One of the jokes around prime Casemiro, right, when he was playing for Real Madrid and then moved to Manchester United, was that he was so loose in possession that he was purposely giving the ball away so he could win it back. You know, obviously you don't want to give possession away, but if you're showing that kind of effort, you're never going to be perfect. You're going to miss passes. And if you're showing the kind of effort to make up for your mistakes and win the ball back, that is going to impress coaches all day long.
And one of my coaches used to say, you don't like running back and forth? Well, win the ball back.
Right.
Stops you from running all over the pitch. Here's Flax. He's trying to escape. Still tiptoed inside the 18. And Campbell, Sullivan all the way up. Giving Robertson fits. Let's see what Campbell can do here. Martin now pinching in with Wright, staying out wide. He's got his hands out, asking for the feed. He won't get it. Flax again showing off how center midfielders should play in the pocket, quick look, and then make the touch. Then he sends it over the top for Sarajan. And Sarajan tried to do a little swim move there, but not to his advantage. For somebody that just scored anytime, anywhere last year, Sarajan he feels he wants a goal really badly. Let's just say that.
Yeah, you can tell that there's a little bit of an adjustment period with new teammates and, you know, new environment. You can tell that there's maybe been a little bit out of sync, but that will come. That will come as the season moves along. We've seen plenty over the last, you know, this year, but also the last few years on the opposite side of the field that he has talent and he's a quality player.
Oh, absolutely, Kyle. I mean, he is a bulldog in there. He goes straight to goal. Here's Torbeck. Torbeck, low driven, and picked up off the ground by Leviton. Yeah, the first time I got a chance to see Sarajan, I think I texted you right away. I said, he kind of has some Dylan Borso to him, but with little extra chip on the shoulder.
Yeah, obviously we saw the quality that Dylan Borso had.
Just got moved up, though, too.
That's right.
Wake Forest now in double digits with shots at 10-1. There's Nagimo who's come in. Torbeck and Thomas. Rabiot's there. Cut out.
Yeah, more of that ball is going to do wonders for Wake Forest. That was the ball that they scored. And then right there, it is causing lots of problems for Max Leviton in goal. He does not know what to do with it, whether to come out or to stay in goal. That time he took a couple steps forward and then backed off. And when you have a goalkeeper in between decisions like that, you can make things happen.
That's a good run. Fischel. But look at the recovering speed by Thomas. Still inside the box, touches galore. And now they have pushed it out of the box. Wake Forest gladly accepts that, and Rabiot says, I'll send it way up for Bilal to run on.
Yeah, that was a really good chance.
Leviton has done his homework on that, too. He was immediately off his lines, not letting 14 get that and go 1v1 with me.
Sam Roberson had a huge opportunity, but bad first touch.
Rabiot looking for his second goal in back-to-back matches together and almost came up with it.
That is a really good save. I mean, a really good save. He had not closed the opportunity down, so Rabiot could have gone anywhere there, and that is a late stamp of a tackle.
Another card going to Fighting Campbell. That's Matos.
Yeah, just watch here. There's a clip of the ankles right there, and there's a yellow card because there's zero play on the ball there.
It's Mach, pardon me.
The ball had moved from there a good bit earlier, and I think that was more frustration than anything.
This looks intriguing for Campbell. There's Travis Smith Jr. To Pop. Good hold-up play, too. That was by Skylar Wright, a freshman. He also played football in high school. You could tell why. Kyle, your thoughts so far? We got 13 minutes remaining. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Wake Forest building from the back all the way up methodically and kind of pretty much owning possession, the field tilt, how many touches in the box, and then Campbell trying to quickly get down on the counter and try to stretch out Wake Forest so they don't cut this field in half, which that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, you're completely right. And, you know, the main key is that Jonah Mednard has not really had anything to do in this game.
That's a well play. Ball by Vlad Walent. He'll get it back. He slipped that one up for Torbeck. There's Rabiot. A nice slide tackle to get that one out of the dancing shoes of Rabiot.
That's a beautiful ball forward to create an opportunity here. That's an excellent save because they really had a lot of space to shoot at. down the other end. This is really the first thing that Medner's had to do all game.
Look how many numbers for Wake Forest is back.
Yeah.
I mean, that says a lot about the discipline, getting back, making sure they have their shape. And you saw it as soon as Campbell decided to usher it out of the 18. It was it. That was it. Negated. And Wake Forest quickly took it over. Left alone on an island, yet still fighting and still keeping the possession. It's
How about
right.
the ability of Amani Thomas to, just race back in transition every time. Endless amounts of energy and a high sprint speed. He is able to get forward and yet cover so much space in behind.
He's a luxury to have. You can't teach speed, but man, when you have it.
It's not just speed though, it's awareness too, right? Like to take the shortest path from point A to point B is not always easy because you need to predict the path of the opponent who's carrying the ball forward. You need to calculate how can I get there the quickest?
Torvik trying to slot that one up to Deba.
It's like a corner, right? A corner that plays in the NFL, it plays press coverage. You play press coverage, you got to be able to recover when a guy beats you. And football is all about angles, both of them.
Yep. And inches.
Yeah.
While Lent is pinched in, hanging in the center space here. Wake Forest now orchestrating another attack. Thomas thought about going to wall in, will move it in, take a shot that just drifted on him. He was again aiming for the low left-handed spot there. They've taken a fancy to that spot in the net.
Deeks will certainly want to get a second goal here before halftime because if they go into the break at 1-0, it doesn't feel like the right amount of profit for how much they've dominated this half. And you give the opponent a little bit of confidence when they can keep the game within reach and get away with it a little bit.
Yeah. We'll have one of those highlights that tells that tale.
Yep.
And a halftime highlight show.
It's a great ball.
Martin and Campbell inside the box. And just one extra touch. You almost get the sense that Mach was just trying to buy some time for somebody or some extra bodies to get in the box. And before you know it, out of bounds.
Yeah, there was a little bit of indecision there.
Here's Torvik. So calm and collected, too, is Torvik. I mean, you got a big body coming in at you, Bendov, and just gladly sends it back to the support. No buckling.
No. Ty, one of the things I find fascinating about this Campbell team is the flexibility of a lot of these players to play in so many different positions. We were wondering before the match exactly where all these players would play. It's a tough call for the referee. But, you get a player like Sam Roberson who against VCU, we watched, a lot of this team play. He was a central striker. Now you see him out on the left wing. Earlier he was in central midfield as like one of the two defensive midfielders. He's all over the field. and that's a testament to some of the versatility. And obviously as a coach, you'd like to have a settled depth chart with guys that are honing their abilities, but.
Wow. I think Bednar's claiming that he got hit. But that again shows the defense having the back. Here's a shot, turn and shoot, and kind of scuffed it. Bednar got up on the ladder. That's the first time I've seen him actually spill it.
Yeah, I think he just mistimed the jump just by a split second, and he was on his way down as he reached for the ball.
Now Campbell once again threatening. Robertson. The idea was to play right, and
that was by far their best attack for Campbell. He's up and just a little high. He did get bumped, but I don't know if it was enough for a foul. Obviously, goalkeepers are well protected by referees, but you gotta have strong hands there, and a great job by Wake Forest to clear the chance anyways and pick him up.
I guess he's just not quite used to someone going up against him. Immediately,
yeah.
It's
a big body.
Don't get bumped. 6 minutes remaining in the first half, and it's all Wake Forest, but just 1-0 to show. Gladwell Limp was off and running, hoping to come up with a second goal. Here's Thomas with the theft. Wallen in the nice pocket. Back and forth with Thomas as Torbic comes up as a support. Sullivan with his first goal. Drilling one down with his forehead. And DeBot quickly throwing it in. "12 shots for Wake Forest, 3 for Campbell." But again, like you said, Kyle, just a 1-0 advantage. And the longer Campbell keeps it that way, the more confidence they're going to have. The game up. Bilal tried to turn, didn't have much room. Wake Forest on the training pitch, this is, what they pretty much do. Like, it's constantly pinging the ball quickly up the pitch, where, Coach Muse wants this to be, you can do it in your sleep, all muscle memory. Martin. Smith squares up, allows some cushion. And Martin only has an option to play in the back for support. Step up. 4 minutes. Just the 5th time these two teams have met. First meeting 1989. Bilal will chase and try to make it uncomfortable for the keeper. Also clip the heels. At least it looks as if that was the case.
Just a bit of a loose touch here.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Two big bodies going at it with Sullivan and Thomas. Sullivan gets called for the foul. And this is a prime spot for Campbell to level it up at 1. We'll see what head coach Dustin Fonder dials up here. Well, Martin is behind it, as well as see this crash on this left side of the 18. So Martin looks like he's going to take it. And a little backspin, hoping to possibly bend back, but didn't quite bend the way he wanted it. Wake Forest defense they've been bending, but they haven't broken.
Campbell's putting up a fight here towards the end of the half. They heard us saying, hey, Wake Forest will want another goal before the break, and they said, nah, we want another goal before the break. It would be quite the flip if the Camels were to snatch one here and level it up before the break.
90 seconds remaining in the first 45. Wake Forest leading 1-0. Campbell slowly but surely growing into this match. Torbeck. Nagima left for Sullivan, and now Wake Forest trying the left-hand channel. Rabiot. Bilal's inside the 18. Vlad lurking. There's Torbeck trying to figure out what he wants to do with it. Deba. Just a mis-threading pass there. Not sure if it was intended either for Rabiot or Torbeck. Both kind of look confused on where, who was it to. There's 20 seconds now on the clock. There's Rabiot. Is there a buzzer beater in this script? Doesn't look like it. That's a clearance ball. And that's the sound of the horn to end the first 45. Wake Forest comes away with a goal by Mason Sullivan, a sophomore who's come in to replace Kruger. Kruger trying to get back to 100%, never losing a step. And they just continue to being successful with Campbell and putting them on the map, which has to be tough. They just moved not too long ago to the CAA. Fonder just has a knack about bringing in good talent, inserting them into the lineup, and becoming a solid club every year. As we are underway in the second 45. What did Campbell learn at the break and from that first 45? And are we in for some surprises?
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point there. What did Campbell learn? I think they learned that they can hang with this Wake Forest team. You know, you go down 1-0, 18 minutes in, you're facing a lot of shots. It feels like, you know, if you let one more in, things could sort of spiral out of control. And then you flip the game flow. And, you know, all of a sudden now they've got some life. They've got some confidence. They go into halftime. They say, hey, we can do this. We've troubled them a few times. And now you see right out of the gates here in the second half, Jonah Mednard has to come way off his line to make a clearance. And the Camels are in this.
Got right to put himself in a great spot. Kruger is now on the pitch for Wake Forest as the center back. I mentioned that he's trying to get back to match shape. Subachan, the former Louisville Cardinal, he is in to start the second half up top as the target, the number 9. And Vlad Walent also getting the start, the outside right wing. There's Perez, tripped up. I was about to say. Tripped up, that will be a free kick. Awarded to Wake Forest, a quick restart. Perez took exception to that. Flax. knocked away, and Wake Forest will then start from the back and start building. Here comes that press that Campbell will put on. Escorbano, one touch up ahead to Lorenz. Lorenz, Subachan, eyeing the back line of Campbell. Here's Flax, outside of his boot. To Bassett Umar, clipped over from Flax. Oh, that was brilliant goalkeeping, though, by Leviton.
Yeah, and this is going to be a yellow card for Bassett Umar. He just came in late. He's got to be in control of his body as he comes flying in like that and recognize that the goalkeeper is going to get there first. So it is a dangerous collision. The goalkeeper is sort of putting himself out there. And I understand why this is a yellow card. Maybe, you know, Bassett feels like it's a little bit harsh because he's got a right to the ball, which he certainly does. But it's just like any tackle in the outfield where if you get there late, that's on you. And so he does almost reach this, and, you know, he pulls out of the tackle. He was going to put his foot out and try to kick the ball, realizes he's there late.
I didn't think he looked like he was trying to avoid him, did he?
Yeah, he pulls out of the tackle, you know, and watching the replay, maybe I think it's a little bit more harsh than I did real time. Because you can see that he goes to stick his foot out and yanks it back and tries to avoid. And maybe there's a little bit of added sauce from the goalkeeper too, but it is a dangerous spot to be in for the keeper, so the referee might have a little less leeway than anywhere else in the field.
A sensational idea, though, by Flax on that scoop and send it over the top for Bassett Umar to come home. But Leviton read it well. Subachan getting the start in the second half. He got on the goal tally sheet on Friday. That is a very risky ball play, but Bednard cleans it up and sends it up the pitch. Escorbano. Now Flax. He thought about the switch on this overload and pulled it back to Kruger. Now Wake Forest will use the right flank. Wallent. Knocked off the ball, and then the clearance by the Fighting Camels. Has Roberts on it. And trying to find the target. That's Bander, number 9. Well, from Friday night's match, it was 4-0. Wake Forest actually probably should have maybe won by 6-0. They had a couple of chances that hit the woodwork. And great defense by Lipscomb, but that was a tally. It was a clean sheet. And for tonight, in this first 45, Wake Forest looks like they were keeping that same game plan. I'm just peppering the net, but Campbell stayed right in this and only trail 1-0. Bassett Umar, he sat that one down perfectly. And still try to slide it right there on the top of the V18. Well shielded off by Perez. Subachan. Good distribution. Flax. And that one rose on him, and he knows it. He must get stepped on the foot, too.
Cooper's had a couple of chances, not just in this game from long distance, but this season, where he's come so close to an absolute banger. That one maybe not his best strike, but we've seen him hit a couple of those really well this year.
That's the green zone for him. He gets the green light from just about, what, say 10 yards outside of the 18. Same way with Perez.
Oh, yeah.
Perez, nice presence in the middle, captain to captain with Bassett Umar sending that one.
Great tackle.
Great recovery tackle by Escribano. Now here's Tate Lawrence hopping over trouble. And cleared out, it'll be a throw in.
Excellent by Christian Escribano. You know, it was a little heavy off his chest, and he recognized it. And in order to make a tackle like that, you really have to predict what the opponent's going to do and how to go in and win the ball. And here he does it again.
Kind of just cast it out his foot, right? And timed it right. Amadi Thomas on a mission. He drilled it. It is deflected. It will be a Wake Forest corner. But again, how big is having a player like Thomas that can seep into the attack, and especially with his speed, going direct to goal. And you constantly have to keep your head on a swivel for number 4. So a corner kick once more for the Deeks. This is number 5. Can they come up with another set piece goal? Flax, nice arc. Headed out of the 18, tracked down by Perez. Wow, how'd that ball get breaking lines all the way to Kruger? Walent slides it over to Lawrence. Lawrence trying to curl that one back stick. Subachan was lurking. Bassett Umar to Tate Lawrence. They play in the same summer team this summer together in Salem City. Bassett Umar with a nice step. How did he keep it at his feet?
That's the ball-winning ability for Bassett Umar I was talking about earlier. And you win the ball so high up the field, it just continues to pour the pressure on.
Perez. A toe poke to Christian Escribano. The Deeks pinning the Camels all the way back and just connecting passes after passes. I'll have to find out the complete passes goal for tonight's match from Coach Muse later.
It's not always about the number, but that will tell you one thing, which is, you know, how much of the game were you able to be in control of?
Flax read that nicely. It settled right in front of him. Now he's surrounded by orange jerseys.
Yeah, that was a beautiful poke from behind. Really, really well done.
Campbell once again trying to see if they can free up Roberts. Roberts, of course, our player to watch at the beginning of the show.
That was James Jenkins too with the toe poke from earlier. Key, because if not, Cooper Flax could have gotten away.
You kind of see that Campbell's kind of frustrated Wake Forest. Anything they could do to disrupt the rhythm of Wake Forest. It's kind of hampered the Deeks' attack to that final third. Subachan running on. Just see how relieved he was when he got his first goal as a Demon Deacon. Shin guard will pop out of the right sock of a Campbell. That was James Jenkins who had that crucial toe poke earlier. St. Lawrence botting up with right. Lawrence, who played 2 years at Carolina and never had a goal to his name. He comes to Wake Forest. He has 2 goals and 1 assist and just 4 matches played.
Yeah, he's been a really critical part of this attack. And he's a guy like Bassett Umar that we talked about before, where they're more than the goals that they score, right? It's the creative ability, it's the vision, it's the defending, it's the energy. They provide a lot to this team.
Bassett Umar challenging at Leviton. He's way off his line. There's a good theft, of course, Amani Thomas inserting it to Bassett Umar, but surrounded by orange jerseys. Flax. Here's Kruger. Keeps it on the deck for Amani Thomas. "15 shots for Wake Forest, 3 now for Campbell. We'll see the good old SOG as shots on goal, 6 for Wake, 1 for Campbell. Lawrence thought about the big ball over the top to try to find Vlad Walent. Campbell doing a good job of their back line, keeping the shape and keeping their line. Escribano, Flax, and trying to send a through ball and a one-touch up for Subachan. And once again, Campbell able to at least clear it away for a brief moment. Now Wake Forest back with possession. Flax to Subachan. Subachan. Here's Flax. He's buckled and down, and this is his firing range right here.
It's a great set piece opportunity. Yeah, he and that's he was looking to win that foul the whole time. You know, he turned his back because he knew the challenge would come in. Right, if you see once he gets the ball right here, he turns his back because he knows that he's going to feel the defender challenge and receives the foul.
Let's see if we have deja vu. A little bit closer than what he did last year against UVA. But I can tell you this, Max Leviton knows how dangerous.
Well, Jose Perez, too, could be an option.
Oh, yeah, both. Those are 2 riflemen. So it can it be the marksman, Perez, or, well, Cooper turns super. Perez, again going bottom right. They like going those bottom corners. Leviton read it well, punched it out of the way. That turns into a corner kick for Wake Forest. Copious amounts of corner kicks tonight for the Deeks.
Yeah, that's a really good save because you could tell Leviton did not see that very well. It came through a wall, snuck around, as you said, low, and that's really hard to see for the goalkeeper. Reacted very late to it.
An outswinger that ends up being cleared out, and then a quick counter that Campbell's trying to create, but Travis Smith Jr. Make sure he put the stamp on that. That's like a football team that gets all the way to the red zone, right? And then comes away with a field goal or nothing.
Right. Yeah, it's a good opportunity.
Then you also get the same flavor of those midweek games, right? Somehow pop up. Oh, great step by Flax. Oh, even a great one back heel by Bassett Umar. Lawrence having to dance through traffic.
That was a tough moment for the referee because he recognized the foul for Bassett Umar, tried to play advantage, and by the time Campbell won the ball back, it was just a little too late to bring it back and give the foul. Great ball movement by Wake Forest.
Perez with plenty of space. Will thread it to Bassett Umar. Bassett Umar trying to thread it up ahead to Subochon. Travis Smith with a nice slide tackle. It did not go in his favor, though. Ended up as an advantage for Campbell. Coach Muse has put in 7 different players off the bench, showing the depth. Looking on the side with Campbell. Only 5 that have been used off the bench up to this point. So it'll be a corner kick for the Fighting Camels. Their first corner of the match. Went near stick. I guess that message was not communicated to the rest of the team. There really not much there on the near stick. Lawrence trying to turn, is able to turn up ahead with Flax. Perez in a nice pocket. He's thinking about going to Thomas. Orchestrating again. Flax. Good triangle passing. Lorenz trying to backheel it to Subochon. Of course, Perez finds a way to have a nice pocket, clean pocket for him to figure out what he wants to do with it. Now the foul count, 9 apiece with that foul. Mach back in. Felipe Mach, as well as Santos Rosa. And look at this. A couple touches in the box, and Kruger able to stand him up. Campbell's bench yelling for a PK.
Yeah, it was interesting because I don't think any of that warranted a penalty, but if they were going to call it on any of those challenges, it would have been the last one, but it was the first one that the Campbell bench was up in arms about, which there was nothing in it. So
look at the theft from the Winston-Salem kid, Lawrence. And he gets tripped up. Ooh. That's definitely a card. Another yellow card issued out. Lawrence with a huge pick-off. This is right.
There's nothing in that at all. Kruger's not even, I mean, he's just challenging like shoulder to shoulder. There's a little bit of a shirt pull at the end of that, but it wasn't enough to do anything, and that is a clear foul. There's no touch on the ball there at all.
Pick your poison here. It's Perez setting up as well as Flax. I believe Flax is going to try to snipe one of the corners here. Top corners, I must say. As Flax takes a deep breath. Deeks only lead by one. I'd love to get one more. Flax ricocheted and off and over the bar. Last touch by Campbell. It will be Wake Forest corner. And the Deeks also bringing in some subs. He was eyeing that top.
Yeah, well, it almost found it too. Wrong foot in the goalkeeper on the deflection.
So 2 weapons go out for Wake Forest, 2 fresh weapons back in. That's Sarajan coming in and Jeffrey White. Flax taking the corner, an outswinger. Who's there? Smith trying to settle it. Here is Perez, and he's still going low. It has almost worked out. That one deflected again, out of bounds. Another corner kick for the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, 2 deflections now that have come very close to the back of the net.
Flax again behind it. An outswinger with the Sarajan moving. Lots of targets inside the box. Kruger's down there. So is Travis Smith. Outswinger. Who's there? Kruger just couldn't get over the top of that.
Man, that was a really good opportunity. Here first before the corner, great shot by Perez. The goalkeeper had it, but the deflection could have caused some problems. This is a great chance. There's nobody there around Kruger. Maybe a little tug on the back of his shirt, but that was a huge opportunity.
Again, he started off the season not quite 100%, and slowly he's going to look at that and want that touch back, but you know, you get more and more in time on the pitch. And you're going to be able to finish those balls. The Deeks flirting with, if you could go just by the trend of this match, if they could get that second goal, they could put this match to bed. And Travis bodying up. Well, Campbell wanted the advantage. They pull it back outside of the 18, so this is also very dangerous.
Things getting a little physical between these 2 teams. That's just really clumsy.
Well, it wasn't going to be. Escribano let up after he heard the whistle.
Well, of course, once the whistle blows, then yes. I think there's probably advantage to be played there. The problem here for the referee is that a free kick from a position like this is very valuable, right? So you've really got to have advantage to get it in a position like this.
1-0 the score. Campbell trying to level it up. A miss hit.
Yeah, that was a great set piece play. Wake Forest did not see that coming.
Fischel. Santos Rosa. Jeffrey White. A nice 1-2. Jeffrey White is on his way. Subachan. Subachan trying to get to that corner. A little extra love tap at the end from Fischel.
Foul throw.
Wow. I haven't seen one of those. I don't think I've ever seen one of those. Foot up.
It's just one of those things that nobody ever thinks about, right? It's just like muscle memory. You just do it. So sometimes it can get a little, you can get a little wonky with it.
I mean, they changed the rules for throw-ins. Seems like every year. One, you could do it. You could throw it on the side as long as it was over your head. You could do sorts of things. You could do this. You could do that. Then they changed it.
You can still do a lot. There's really very little like telling you what you have to do.
I mean, I've told you about throw-ins. I think it's silly to waste. The game is all about your feet.
Yeah, I know.
And the one thing about it, that goes out of bounds, you got to throw it.
Well, the reason is they don't want you to get
know.
a kick in, because now it's every time the ball goes out of play, it's a set piece chance, right?
I think we talked about how it should be like the futsal rule. You have, what, 5 seconds, sit it down, and then play it.
Yeah.
Bassett is not happy. He thought, and he does have a good argument, that the referee said Bassett Umar touched it last, went out of bounds, and Bassett is baffled by it. As Jeffrey White sends it up, Subachan. That worked out well for Subachan. Perez. Subachan. Across. It's Bassett Umar. Will not give up the fight. The hurt Campbell player. I think that's Mach that is down. Subachan. Now, Wake Forest continues to flirt. Also knock at the door constantly with 20 shots. Kyle, we'll get a chance to see the long throw in by Sarajan.
Love that as a weapon. You know, we just talked about how you shouldn't get a set piece chance on every throw, but if you can do that, it basically gives you a set piece chance.
That's a good ball. Punched out by Leviton. Interesting creative idea too there by Sarajan there to just kind of clip it that close to the 6-yard mark, and there's a great slide tackle by Amani Thomas.
Really good punch. Really good punch by Leviton, commanding his penalty area, saying anything in this area, it's mine. And he has played very well tonight. You know, the goal is frustrating, I'm sure, because it looks weird, right? But he has played very well tonight.
Yeah, 5 saves for Leviton. Off to a great start for 2025 and a great stat line last season. Campbell also unbeaten in their last 3 matches. They did drop their opener, but since then, they have not dropped one. Subachan. Trying to cut one across his body. And a big stray ball sent, not quite on target. And it's up the CAA last year, just 4 points separated the first team on the table to the fifth team. Those are second half shots with 8-1 in favor of the home team. Campbell also welcoming in 12 new faces this season. And the yellow card given out. We've had our share of yellow cards. Ethan Roberts gets one. There's now 4 yellow cards for Campbell in this match. That results in another corner for Campbell. Just their second of the match. 20 shots to 4. But still hanging in the balance. Wake Forest, the advantage of just 1-0. But chaos in the box could immediately take that advantage away and have this match even at 1 apiece.
Yep, these are the chances they've got to take advantage of now that they've gotten it to this point with the game still intact.
The corner driven high, back stick, and that very well could have been it, Kyle. It just was not quite on target, but the idea almost worked.
That was a really great play by Jake Roberts, who had the initial header. He placed it perfectly so that his teammates could flick the chance on and try to put it in the net. Just didn't end up working.
First time we get to see Kari Sato. Kari Saito, pardon me. And Campbell will have another chance at a corner. It took forever for them to get one, and now they've had a bunch come here. Take a look at this, how close this was. Let me get a replay.
Roberts meets it right here, puts it back across the face of goal, and it's literally just millimeters over the head of his teammate. I believe it was Marco Wright. Great tackle there.
Monty Thomas does not allow any service, but it does result in a corner for the Fighting Camels. 1-0. The scoreline has stuck on that scoreline for a long time.
Referee's got a long chat with those two players as he saw them grappling in the last corner as well.
So from the opposite flag, it looks to be
it's Marco
in-swinger, and then have everybody crash in. There's a cluster of Campbell players sitting centrally inside the 18, and here's a good bend to it. Headed down, claiming it is Saito, and he just couldn't find a pathway to the frame. 11.5 remaining, with Wake Forest holding on to a 1-0 lead over Campbell. Bednard claimed that with authority, although he he could hear the footsteps of Ethan Roberts coming right behind him. Perez, Subachan, well played. Flax into space. Flax trying to buy some time for his teammates to get down there. Had his sights on Subachan. Subachan wrestles to get it back. Thomas, the option on the far right. Clock ticking down to 10.5. Just a smidge too far up. It's almost as if Campbell's trying to get Wake Forest, tease them by letting them get all the way into the attacking third, get their numbers down, and daring them to do that, and then sending it and trying to use their speed on the counter.
Yep, that's the ability to stretch the opponent.
Now here's the only goal in this. That's by Sullivan, and he is coming on right now for Wake Forest. A ball hit with so much venom that even with two hands on it, and we've seen how sensational Leviton has been. Leviton, pardon me, even couldn't keep that one from going to the back of the net.
Yeah, and it's a tough one for the goalkeeper because you see he starts to come out, he takes 2 steps out, and then he backs up because he knows I need as much time and space as possible to react to wherever this header ends up. And, you know, looking back on it, maybe he would have been better served challenging for the ball rather than trying to make the save. But once he comes back and tries to make the save, it's very difficult in order to react like that. And he ends up unable to keep the ball out of the net.
I thought Mason Sullivan was coming in. That is not the case. It is Bilal. So interesting move, Kyle. You have your goal scorer, but has yet to see the pitch for the second half. Of course, you also have to think about what's coming up. And I know it's not what you had in mind. You wanted to have more than a 1-0 lead. And here's a good driven shot just on the wrong side. And his right just didn't quite have the angle. But, you know, you want more than a 1-0 lead in these midweek games, especially when your ACC opener is coming up on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And then that has you as a coach kind of monitoring, you know, your body. So if I see Flax out, probably resting for the Friday night match. Here's Jeffrey White, Nagima, Sarajan. Oh, he was eyeing the far stick.
Tight angle there, but yeah, he was going for the far post. Campbell really challenging Wake Forest. Shot there just outside the post, and then the Deke's able to do the same thing. It's again right across the face of goal, just a little wide.
"21 shots to 7. And a flag up on an offside position.
Yeah, Wake Forest still would like a better than 33% on target rate. But give Leviton a lot of credit because 7 shots on goal and just 1 in the net is pretty darn good.
Clock down at 7 in some change. Here's Wright. Running out of real estate was as Travis Smith closing in quickly. Sam Robertson. Now, we've seen this movie before, Kyle, where Wake Forest just has that final ball issues, but it's frustrating to the point saying that you're only up 1-0 to a team you've never lost to, but you go back and look at the tape, possession-wise, passing-wise, connecting passes, all check, the major boxes, but what goes into the book at the end of the day is how many goals you put in.
That's right. That is the most important thing. Unless you're Mauricio Pochettino, then it's not the most important thing.
We got all the way about 5.5 to go in this before his name was brought home. Thomas. Way to come to by Jeffrey White. Close to 5 minutes remaining in this entire match. And an early goal by the sophomore Mason Sullivan is the only goal to show. And it's somewhat of a tease, right, Kyle? Because you see early goal Wake Forest puts in, and just the way that they were moving the ball down in the attacking third. But then you have to remember how solid Campbell's defense has been.
Yep. And also, this is a really good test for Wake Forest for moments like this later in the season where, hey, if you can't get that second goal, can you protect your 1-goal lead? And as you'll see here, Campbell's pushing. Campbell's pushing for that equalizer. And this experience for this team in protecting this lead late against a push is valuable for later in the year when they get to conference play. That looked like a handball.
Yeah, it sure did. Campbell doing everything they can to do something that not many teams have been able to do so far this season against Wake Forest, and that is score against them.
Yeah, you saw just 1 goal allowed so far.
That is dangerous. And somehow the soccer gods gave a blessing to Wake Forest. That one was definitely the equalizer. Miscommunication, a breakdown there. And somehow it does not find the back of the net. Watch this again, Kyle. This is just a ball played right in the sweet spot with the open goal and can't get it in.
Yeah, it looked like the pass out from the back took a deflection. Great press and great challenge from Campbell. But what a miss.
Fighting all the way to the end. They're not just the Camels, they're the fighting Camels. And they sure have given Wake Forest fits. After what it looked to be a walk in the park, still threatening again. Bednard sliding and making the stop. And he's not going to take too kindly to that.
My goodness, Campbell really putting Wake Forest under pressure here with now under 2 minutes to go. This has been a nervy finish to the game for the Deeks.
Skylar Wright, if you remember in the first half, kind of went up with Mednard. Had some contact that Mednard did not like and was kind of doing the same thing there. 90 seconds. Push in the back, which will result in a free kick.
Time-wasting yellow card there for Bilal for kicking it away. Can't do that anymore. That's written in the rules. Delaying the restart.
Right. Found out the hard way last season for my fanhood. How many times they got in trouble for it. 63 seconds remaining. Is there one last punch left for the Fighting Camels? There's a good punch by Mednard. That was huge. 49 seconds. Campbell fighting all the way to the end. You got to give him credit. You can tell Wake Forest doesn't want Campbell to have one more try to send it in the box. That's why Jeffrey White sent that one into the stands. As the clock ticking down. Well, it may not have been the most prettiest match we've seen, but you know what? It only takes one goal, and at the end of the day, a win is a win. And now Wake Forest has moved their streak to 17 unbeaten at home. And Coach Muse, career win 230. Kyle?
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't